Aloha, this is Santa Surfing. Welcome to Beach Broadcast. Today is Friday, June 19th, 2020. I've got some really great information here. This is actually going to be another NESARA GESARA part because their proofs are coming in and now I have more validity to the things I shared 2 days ago. So let's dive right in. The topic is called NESARA GESARA Part 22, Juneteenth. Juneteenth. Look at that beautiful setting for our First Lady, Melania Trump, she's sitting in front of a lot of gold drapes, a gold bench. It's got gold columns right here with chandeliers. It is stunning. It's golden. Look how beautiful she is. She's just, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. Melania Trump. I'm going to play her video at the very end of this broadcast because it is eye-opening. Melania Trump, she paid tribute to the significance of Juneteenth. Now, it is a very beautiful, heartfelt message with a lot of hidden messages in it. So I will share that at the very end. But this is what happened about Juneteenth. I actually was talking to my husband yesterday. I said that some of the banks are going to close early tomorrow. And he's like, why? Why is that? And I said, it's Juneteenth. He said, banks don't close on non-federal holidays. Why are they closed? Banks and some retail stores such as Target are closed for Juneteenth. So here's AmericanBanker.com article, says JP Morgan, PNC Financial, Comerica. I've heard from people on Twitter saying their banks are closing early. Never heard of Juneteenth until this past week, right? You have the same with you, probably. It is not a recognized federal holiday, and it does celebrate the freedom of slavery, which is really a wonderful celebration day, but it has not been a recognized federal holiday. Now, with the deep state manipulating the markets for centuries and manipulating and stealing our wealth, aren't the people of the world debt slaves also? Have we been forced into mind manipulation, aka fake news, CIA-controlled narratives to program our way of thinking, etc.? So let's take a look at the different types of slavery that our country faced. Again, when we see Melania's video at the end, she kind of ties a lot of it in with what I'm sharing here. But there's a lot of proofs from President Trump, and there's a lot of proofs from Mike Pompeo. Oh my gosh, it's a great. It was lots of great stuff going on. So debt slavery, that's us. Rothschilds and Cabal wanted us in debt. They wanted to control us. FDR required all Americans to turn in their gold in 1933 and replace it with paper. Buying a home with a 30-year loan, for an example, this is part of debt slavery. At their interest rate, again, they can determine what the interest rate is, would cost you nearly double the value of your home. So here's a loan amortization chart that I got from Excel. So you put the loan amount is $400,000. I'm using 4.5 as the interest rate because that's probably what most people had, or around that amount. Maybe some got lower. Loan period is 30 years. This is how much your monthly payment is. A lot of lenders always talk about what's your monthly payment? What do you want your monthly payment to be? They don't really talk about this. Look how much interest you're paying on a $400,000 loan. That home in 30 years is going to cost $729,000. The banks loved that. That was their slush fund right there. Now, we were also, so that is one of the things that we were slaves to, was debt, and also credit card debt, auto loan debt. So it's just all about keeping us broke and keeping us under the slavery of debt. Injustice slaves. Our court system is filled with corrupt judges and attorneys that intentionally perpetrate fraud on the courts. Homes were illegally foreclosed on with the banks knowing they had no legal rights. The judge makes a final ruling or can sway a jury trial. Or like, let's say in General Flint's case, that judge suddenly becomes a prosecutor. And the actual prosecutors that brought the case to court wanted the case dismissed, and Judge Sullivan would not allow it, and he even files an amicus brief. Who does that? That is a complete injustice. So injustice slaves. I'm going to show you proofs on a lot of this, guys. The 180-degree turn. Unconstitutional government ruling slaves. Obamacare is a perfect example of our injustice, and it was also hypocritical because Obamacare was something that we were required to have using their selected providers. However, Congress wanted nothing to do with it. They had their own medical program. It turned out to be, in my opinion, the biggest ultimate healthcare Ponzi scheme scam. We were required to have insurance, and if we didn't, we got penalized for it. Now, again, we had to use their providers. Plus, the healthcare providers began increasing the premiums and raising the deductible amounts. So A visit to a doctor could have cost you $2,000 or $3,000 just for that one visit, if you really think about that. Somebody wrote about how she had her child go to the dentist that eventually cost her $12,000 just to get a checkup because he had a little infection in his mouth. It's just crazy what was going on with Obamacare, but that's the unconstitutionalism that was going on. Big Pharma loved it because they could keep making drugs and charging whatever they wanted. Required vaccine food lunch slaves. President Trump mentioned vaccines in his tweets, but he never mentioned it is required like Obama did. Okay, so there's the big difference, guys. Vaccines were required under Obama. If you did not get one, you were going to get in trouble. Some have dodged that bullet. Big Mike, Obama's.
Hit pause, Kiwi lover, Ron White. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just watching videos. I'm not really doing a show. But maybe I'll do a show because I'm just so deliciously pissed off. But I like this girl, so I'm going to keep watching it on my channel. Hit play.
His husband required mush food lunches at the schools. Who dictates what a child eats at school, right? What they eat for lunch. And a lot of it was getting thrown away. Yeah, I wondered if Big Mike ate that mush food. So probably not. Chemtrail slaves. We had no control over the chemtrails filling our bodies. Planes flew around dumping chemtrails. Were these planes owned by WHO or WHO or Big Pharma to create more illnesses and diseases, making us reliant on medication or doctor treatments or prescriptions? Now I'm seeing pictures of people saying, I can actually see the blue sky. I mean, you don't see the trails of chemicals out there. Mind control slaves. New musical artists came around in the early 80s and they changed the way people behave. The songs were filled with rage and hate and anger, and it became very, very common. Cartoon shows like South Park were very hostile. Video games were the rage in the 90s, and then it turned so violent. The fake news media tried to control our minds for decades by using the news, TV shows, movies, commercials, and 5 years ago, by professional sports teams having complete disrespect for our military and our country, the very, very country that made them famous and made them millionaires, all right, is the country that these whining sports, quote unquote, punks, I'm not going to say athletes, but they spit on us. So then the large flat screen TVs became so popular that many families just looked forward to watching their big brand new TVs. And so there we are. We became slaves to what we were watching on TV. Many did not know about the mind control until we became red pilled. Now, I became red pilled when 9/11 happened.
Freedom, man. That's what it's all about. You've got to groove on freedom, like the good book says. Welcome. You are listening to What on Earth is Happening. This show will discuss the topics of human consciousness, mind control, natural law, the occult, and all issues that affect freedom of the people of Earth. What on Earth is Happening will endeavor to shine light upon the darkness of our world and to offer empowering solutions to the problems we face as humanity approaches its critical moment of choice. And now, here is your host, Mark Passio.
Welcome, one and all. You're watching What on Earth is Happening. I'm your host, Mark Passio. My website, whatonearthishappening.com. Ladies and gentlemen, government is slavery. And here on What on Earth is Happening, we are ending slavery one mind at a time. Thanks for tuning in today, everyone. This is episode number 226 of What on Earth is Happening, and today is Sunday, June 14th, 2020. We have a great show lined up for you here today. We are going to be going into part 2, a continuation of last week's show called Remaining Loyal to First Principles in an Age of PSYOPs and Disinformation. And as with all What on Earth is Happening shows, this is built on prerequisite information and prerequisite knowledge. Show number 226 is built upon all of the previous 225 shows. So if you're a new viewer, a new listener, this is not where you want to start. You want to go back to the beginning. You want to go on my podcast archive of my website, whatonearthishappening.com, and go back to show number 1 and listen in order at your own pace. And then an entirely new worldview will emerge for you as a listener and viewer of What on Earth is Happening. So please keep that in mind. We have a lot to cover before we get into the main topics for today. Hopefully there'll be time for call-ins. We take call-ins through Discord. You can go to whatonearthishappening.com/Discord or on the show page, whatonearthishappening.com/show for the Discord invite. Now, let's switch over to the slides because I do have several event announcements for today. This is the artwork for today's show. Always looking great. Great job, Brett. And we'll be getting into this topic in a moment. The Seed 4 conference, which was originally scheduled for this year, has been postponed. We have the postponement dates. We have the rescheduling dates. Seed 4 conference has been rescheduled for May 14th and 15th, 2021. Now, barring anything changing, those are the scheduled dates for it to be held on. And I am still taking part in that conference in a physical capacity. I will be there in person in Athens, Ohio. So it's been rescheduled. I'm glad to hear that. And the rescheduled dates are May 14th and 15th, 2021. I delivered my presentation this Saturday at the Other Perspective of Reality conference out of Madrid, Spain. Thank you to Noria, to Mishua, and all the other organizers. It went really great. And I participated in an hour-and-a-half question and answer session as well after the presentation was shown.
Great. Sounds good.
I will have
Let's get into it.
Flash drive, and it will allow me to go to secure checkout. Okay, and then you could pick from all of these donation methods: PayPal, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Litecoin, Dash, and Ethereum. So there's PayPal, and there are 6 different cryptocurrency options.
Pause.
I'll leave it on PayPal for the time being and hit.
Just for the small audience that's watching me right now, I know Political Foolishness is watching us, and I think maybe still someone else is. Doesn't matter. The point is, Kiwi Lover is probably still watching us. The point is this is not the video I'm making. I'm just relaxing before I make my rant video. I don't know if I'm going to make it tonight or later on this evening or tomorrow. But it's going to be brutal because I am I'm fed up. Masks everywhere. People acting like fucking slaves and idiots. I can't do this crap anymore. I can't see my fellow citizens acting like such stupid slaves. And even me, I wear the mask. I'm not saying like I'm the one, but I hook it around my ear when I walk in the grocery store. I'm like, fuck you. Because I'm waiting for one of the sales associates stocking the shelves. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for one of them to go, excuse me, sir, you need to put your mask on. And I'm going to go, do I? And I'm just going to walk on. Not to be a dick, just to prove a point. I'm not going to bow down to this globalist. This is the weakest takeover they've ever attempted. I mean, it's broad in its prospects. It's certainly very broad because it's like a worldwide pandemic. Oh, we're gonna give everyone the cold and make everyone shut their businesses down. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Watch my old videos. Why people are so compliant. It's why people are so soft. Sir, in order to put your this actually didn't happen. No one said shit to me. I was nice. I had my mask hooked over my right ear, off of my face, and I left it on the right ear. So if someone's starting having, a violent explosion of coughing fit and diarrhea and writhing around on the ground, and I happen to be within